The Cursed Manor, a tale of the haunted house. In the heart of Ravenwood, a small town surrounded by dark forests, stood an abandoned mansion known as Blackwood Manor. No one dared to enter it after sunset. The townspeople spoke in hushed voices about the horrors within, whispers of shadows moving, eerie cries echoing in the halls, and the legend of the family that vanished overnight. The Dare. One stormy evening, 4 friends Ryan, Emily, Jake, and Sarah stood at the rusted iron gates of Blackwood Manor. They had always been fascinated by the stories but never had the courage to enter. That night, they made a pact: they would spend the night inside and prove once and for all that ghosts were just myths. With flashlights in hand, they pushed open the creaking door. Dust filled the air, and the scent of decay clung to the walls. A grand chandelier hung above them, swaying ever so slightly. Their footsteps echoed in the vast emptiness. The secrets of Blackwood Manor. As they explored, they found old portraits on the walls, each face frozen in time, their eyes seemingly following them. Sarah shivered. "It's just an illusion," she whispered, though her voice wavered. In the grand library, they discovered an old journal. It belonged to Lord Edward Blackwood, the last owner of the mansion. The final entry read, "The whispers grow louder. Elizabeth sees them too. They want us gone. But where can we run? The house is alive. And it wants to keep us." A sudden thud from upstairs made them jump. Ryan chuckled nervously. "Probably a raccoon." But as they ascended the staircase, the air grew colder. The first sign. In one of the bedrooms, an old rocking chair moved back and forth though no wind blew. A mirror, cracked down the center, reflected not just the 4 friends but a 5th figure standing behind them. A woman in a tattered gown, her hollow eyes staring straight into theirs. Emily screamed. They turned, but there was no one there. "We need to leave," Sarah said, her voice barely above a whisper. Just then, the door slammed shut on its own. The lights flickered, and the whispering began, a chorus of voices speaking in a language none of them understood. "The curse awakens." Jake tried the door, but it wouldn't budge. Suddenly, the floor beneath them groaned. A hidden trapdoor opened, revealing a dark passage leading downward. As if drawn by an unseen force, they were compelled to descend. At the bottom, they found themselves in a dimly lit chamber. At its center was an old cradle, rocking as if an invisible hand soothed the baby within. But the cradle was empty. Then they heard it, a chilling lullaby sung by an unseen presence. Suddenly, the walls shifted, revealing skeletal remains dressed in 18th century clothing. The spirits of the Blackwood family. Emily clutched Ryan's arm. "We're not alone." The ghostly figures stepped forward, their mouths moving but no words coming out until one voice finally broke through. "You must leave before it wakes." A deafening growl filled the chamber. The walls shook. The spirits vanished, and a monstrous figure emerged from the shadows, tall, with glowing red eyes, its face twisted in rage. "Escape or perish." The friends ran. The entity pursued them, its wails shaking the very foundation of the house. As they reached the front door, Sarah cried, "It's locked." The creature lunged. Just as it was about to grab them, the spirits reappeared, blocking its path. With their last ounce of strength, they flung open the door. The moment they crossed the threshold, the house fell silent. The lights inside flickered and then went dark. Breathing heavily, they turned back. The mansion stood as it always had, its windows dark, its secrets buried once more. The aftermath. The next day, they researched the house's history. Blackwood Manor had been cursed for centuries. Lord Edward Blackwood had unknowingly built his home on land cursed by an ancient spirit. His family had been trapped within its walls ever since. As the sun set, Ryan received a text from an unknown number. "You left, but it still knows you. The house never forgets." His blood ran cold as he looked up at his window. A shadowy figure stood there, watching.